This video and the Fall TV Takeover are brought to you by PayPal, the simple and safe way to spend, send, and receive money. Download the app today.
That's why I wish we had a map.
Sometimes you astound me, Pinky.
Time to get conspiratorial. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another Top 10 Cartoon Fan Theories.
As I recall, your mama was having trouble getting pregnant on account of your daddy's narrow doohickey, and eventually, well, they just gave up on ever having a child of their own, and they did the next best thing.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at another set of fan theories surrounding popular cartoons, no matter how much weight they have to them. If you don't see a theory you think should have made the cut, be sure to check out our original video of the Top 10 Cartoon Fan Theories.
Okay, dog. Now you break into the bank and you bring us all the dough. Say, say.
Number 10. Economic Depression. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
He wanted to scare us off so he could pick up the land cheap. And I'd have done it too, if you kids hadn't come along.
Perhaps it wasn't just the monsters that Mystery Incorporated had to be afraid of. According to one theory, the original Scooby-Doo series was actually set during a time when the economy had gone bust. Things were so dire that even well-known individuals like celebrities, intellectuals, and so forth became criminals to survive the desperate financial climate, all while dressing up as creatures so that the blame would not be put on them.
Does this seaweed help remind you of that picture on Widow Cutler's wall?
Huh?
Captain Cutler!
It might sound like a stretch, but you gotta admit there were a lot of abandoned buildings and downtrodden areas on that show. Sign of the times?
Well, the tracks clearly lead into that old mill.
Number 9. Bill Dauterive is Bobby Hill's father, King of the Hill.
Bobby, do you take Luann to be your lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold, to love and to cherish till death do you part?
That sounds like a yes to me.
It's fair to say that not all children turn out like their parents, whether it's in appearance or personality. But when it comes to Hank and Bobby, the difference is like night and day. Along with how dissimilar they are, fans of the show have pointed out that there are hints that Bill might actually be Bobby's biological father.
My dad didn't buy me a car when I turned 16. He sold me one, and it was a lemon. Taught me the value of $1.
My dad never sold me anything.
You've got the physical likeness and the fact that the two spend so much time together bonding. Not to mention the little fact that Hank has a rather narrow urethra, which the Hills were originally told meant that they could never have children. Damn, Hank, you may be the king, but from the sounds of it, someone got with your queen.
The lab reports confirm it, although I suspected as much when it took you 30 minutes to produce a urine sample.
Hey, you want it done quick or you want it done right?
Hank, please calm down.
Number 8. Nazi Propaganda, the Tom and Jerry franchise. You know the drill. Tom Cat tries his best to take out his mousy nemesis Jerry with all manner of nefarious and ill-conceived ideas. But were you aware that these two are the physical representation of countries? That's right, someone out there posted a theory that states Tom and Jerry represent the Tommies and Jerrys, also known as the British and the Germans, during the early years of World War II. So if you put that into context, we've been watching Nazi Germany outdo the Brits with their superior intelligence all these years. Number 7. Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, the Donald Duck franchise. It's no secret that Donald doesn't exactly have the best temperament, and that he goes on the odd rant every now and again. While most of us just find it funny and associate it with his character, some have claimed that his escalating rage is a result of his PTSD. How did he get such a thing? Well, as a Second World War paratrooper, poor old Donald was used for plenty of military propaganda back in the day, with one cartoon showing him fighting against the Japanese by himself. That's bound to drive anyone over the edge. Number 6. Shared Universe, Samurai Jack. Crossovers are nothing new, and if fans even get a whiff that some of their favorite cartoons are entangled in some subtle or overt way, you can be sure they will find evidence of it. Given the history of Cartoon Network's properties making random cameos between shows, it's no surprise people latched onto this particular theory, which is that apparently everyone's favorite time-traveling samurai was roaming around the post-apocalyptic but past version of Townsville this whole time. Given the identical landmarks seen throughout some episodes, the idea certainly has some merit. Meanwhile, there are others who insist that Jack and Professor Utonium are the same person. Aw man, time travel makes our heads spin.
Hush now. You just let your Professor Wessie take care of this.
Number 5. Sexual abuse. The Fairly Odd Parents.
Look around, sweetie. Love is everywhere. And it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Brace yourself, people, because this one is bleak. In our first list, we discussed how Cosmo and Wanda could just be metaphors for antidepressants. Well, this theory takes things a step further by stating that they are delusions of Timmy Turner's actual deceased godparents.
They're not even gone yet. And already I'm more popular.
We're his closest friends.
He imagines them watching over him and granting his wishes, all in a bid to keep himself happy. Since his real parents don't care about him, he has one heck of a volatile babysitter, and Mr. Crocker's scheme to capture his fairy godparents is in reality just him making sexual advances on Timmy. Yeesh.
I already paid $400 to rent this ice cream truck and this stupid costume. I'm kind of tapped out.
That's not the kind of pay I mean.
Number 4. Pinky is the genius. Pinky and the Brain.
Just one question, though.
Yes, Pinky?
Where are we going to get all those harmonicas?
You can stop trying to break the record for absolute idiocy, Pinky.
How can one of cartoon's most lovable idiots possibly be smarter than the megalomaniacal mouse who dreams of taking over the world? Well, what if the Brain is so loco in the head that all his thoughts of world domination are the result of madness?
We shall found a nation, and that nation shall be called Brainania.
The pair's endeavors could be nothing more than delusions in his oversized head. But even if they aren't, you only need to look a little more closely to see that more often than not, it's Pinky's observations and comments that make the most logical sense compared to the Brain's ramblings. One is a genius, the other's insane. But which is which?
I have obtained this rare prototype dilithium matrix chip.
Yummy! Does that go with onion dip?
If it did, Pinky, your dippy brains would be the perfect accompaniment.
Number 3. The Pokémon War. Pokémon.
Pikachu, Thundershock!
For an anime about fighting pocket monsters, there doesn't really seem to be any horrifically mature content in Pokémon, at least as far as the original season is concerned. Or is there? According to this theory, the amount of gym leaders and organized crime, plus the fact that Ash and Gary are both missing parents, is because they are the generation born after a terrible war fought with Pokémon.
You think you can play with the big boys? I'll send you home crying. Golem, go!
While this creepypasta may seem more concrete with the video games, it does raise some interesting points. Where is Ash's dad anyway?
Mom, you're embarrassing me! In front of all these people? Don't you know I'm a big kid now? Pokemon trainers can take care of themselves.
I understand.
Number 2. The 7 Deadly Sins. SpongeBob SquarePants.
You know, do some detective work.
Detective work. I'm going undercover.
Who would have guessed that Bikini Bottom's most iconic residence would actually represent something as dark as the 7 sins? It's not all that crazy when you think about it. SpongeBob has a lust for life, while Pearl is obsessed with males. Mr. Krabs is the greediest thing under the sea. Sandy takes great pride in her work. Patrick bests everyone when it comes to sloth. Both Gary and Mrs. Puff have been shown to be quite gluttonous. Plankton is obviously envious of the Krusty Krab's success. And Squidward, well, we all know how wrathful SpongeBob makes him. Turns out this show attracts weird theories, since there's another one that suggests these 7 represent narcotics.
All right, pal, make with a relaxing foot massage pronto.
Sorry, your hour's up.
Number 1. There are no monsters. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Return the slab.
What's your offer?
Despite his timid nature in the face of the supernatural horrors going on in the middle of nowhere, Courage never fails to protect his owners from the many monsters and psychopaths that seem to come their way. This would all be fine and dandy, except what if they're not all as scary as he thinks they are?
Booga booga booga!
Given that he's just a dog and the world probably looks a lot different to him, the entire show could be nothing more than Courage's canine perception tricking him into thinking he and his humans are in danger, when the truth is, all those monsters he thinks he's seeing are just people. But to be honest, we're not sure if that's uplifting or even more depressing.
The show don't go on for hours, but I can get you in real quick like.
This video and the Fall TV Takeover are brought to you by PayPal, the simple and safe way to spend, send, and receive money. Download the app today.